For joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of sky cams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
All right. Hello, guys. Thanks for joining me for WLET First Alert Weather Plus. I'm meteorologist Elise Ushman, just going to be here by myself for this particular newscast. But don't worry, Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts will be in for 5 and 6, and will be here with me for the 6:30 edition. Hello, Melissa. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for always joining us on this newscast. I feel like I always see your name, and you always comment. So thanks for being here. Let's get right into the thick of it. It is hot outside, and heat stress is our primary concern in our first alert forecast for today and tomorrow. Through 6 p.m., we're going to see heat indices as high as 105 degrees. So please make sure that if you have to work outdoors, or if you're just trying to get some things done outdoors before we get into a rainy pattern, that you're staying hydrated as you work outside and you're taking frequent breaks while you're working in that heat. Speaking of the heat, here's what it feels like outside right now. 104 in Vicksburg, 100 in Monticello again today, Yazoo City, 103 in Lexington. It's only 2:30. And our actual air temperatures, let's check them out and see where they're sitting. Likely still in those low 90s. Now, we made it to 93 in Jackson yesterday. Hey, Debbie Reeves and right now Lang, we're going to get into the rain here in just a moment. Right now, it's 90 degrees here in Jackson. Still sitting in the 80s as you go further to the south. But again, you're feeling that mugginess even where you're not in the 90s just yet. It is feeling close to, if not in the triple digits. So this is going to be the story for us for the rest of your afternoon into the early evening and for the day tomorrow. Your feels like forecast on Saturday does not look much different. We'll actually already feel close to the triple digits, similar to today, as early as the lunchtime hours, continuing through again 6 or 7 p.m. And then that heat stress will decrease a little bit. But notice, even through 11 o'clock tomorrow night, it's still going to feel close to the 90-degree mark. And out the door, temperatures are feeling like the 80s. That'll be the story again tomorrow, too. But something else that starts tomorrow is the rain. So right now, we're getting back into some rounds of stormy weather that will start this weekend. But not everybody is going to see the storm. So your first alert right here, will it storm this weekend? Will it storm all weekend? No, it's not going to storm all weekend, mostly Saturday night and Sunday morning. And in fact, it looks for now like a lot of the storms are going to be along and north of Interstate 20 until we get to Sunday night. Then you might have a better chance in areas that are south of I-20. But your highest chance to see storms going into the weekend is going to be Saturday night, Sunday morning, and in areas along and north of Interstate 20. So we do have a severe risk too. And keep in mind, this is relatively arbitrary. It just means that there are ingredients for severe storms across the area. It's the same. Now, this is updated now to have a level 3 out of 5 risk in North Mississippi, but it barely scrapes parts of Attala County, but most of us are not going to see severe storms. It will likely be just spotty in nature. Sunday, same story. In fact, the risk is even lower for not just central Mississippi, but the state as a whole, which is good news, but it's still a level 1 out of 5 risk. And the actual threats are going to remain the same. Damaging winds are going to be the greatest concern for any storms that we see Saturday afternoon and night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday, going into next week. It's going to be the same story for us, followed by the potential for some isolated large hail, similar to the clusters of storms we were getting a couple of weeks ago. Now, I have to tell you, too, the tornado risk is low, but it's not zero, unfortunately. So we'll also be tracking anything that potentially has some spin to it. Again, not looking at a widespread severe weather outbreak. And most of the rain is going to stay north of Interstate 20. And in fact, that's what's happening right now. A few more scattered showers looking pretty similar to yesterday with maybe some rumbles of thunder. Let's see if we got any lightning out there. It doesn't look like we do in central Mississippi. As you go over to the east in East Mississippi, West Alabama, there is a little bit of lightning, but it looks like we are pretty much missing out on that for the moment. So you can still get out, have some fun in the sun. There's plenty of that to go around, but some clouds too. And let's talk about what the rain's going to look like going into this potentially stormy weekend. So some scattered showers for the rest of your Friday evening. Then we're dry overnight for the most part. There's a chance that some of you north of I-20 again see some scattered showers into early Saturday morning, but most of your Saturday is not going to be touched or dampened by any stormy weather. Now, do not take this as a zero chance. We do have a low end rain chance in there. There's a chance, especially in Humphreys, Holmes, and Attala counties, that you see a system that's expected to really stay in North Mississippi, but it could kind of scrape those northern counties as we go into Saturday afternoon between about 2 and 5 p.m. Then we'll have a break until late Saturday night. And this is where that potential for severe storms comes into play. So late Saturday night, early Sunday morning around midnight or 1 a.m. That's where we start to see an increase in rain coverage again. And this system is expected to hold together as it pushes a little further south, potentially as far south as the I-20 corridor. But notice how long it takes to get here. Now we're getting out the door Sunday morning for your early church service, your breakfast plans, your errands that you might be running on a Sunday. So keep in mind, you need to have our free First Alert weather app or some other form of radar so you can check and see where the rain is before you get out on the roads, especially if you want to just try to avoid it altogether. Now, this could potentially push a little bit south of I-20, but in, Walthall, Pike, Lawrence, Lincoln, Franklin, Adams, Jefferson counties, you're not really likely to see much, if any, rain on our weekend days other than a stray shower or two. So a lot of our weekend weather is going to be dry. It's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy, but it's not going to be stormy. Then Sunday evening, we're getting into maybe a slightly better chance. Remember, I said most of your weekend weather. Sunday evening looks like we have some storms that start to pop up from the south this time, and that coverage will continue to increase as we go into the late night hours. And then early Monday morning, another cluster of storms starting to push into the area. Now, as soon as this one clears out, we will likely get into another brief dry spell before our next system rolls in. But it's going to be similar to what we had a couple weeks ago. Remember how these systems would move in and we would get at least one a day, sometimes two a day. There's clusters of thunderstorms. They moved in from the west. They cleared off to the east relatively quickly. Occasionally, they came in from the south. It just depends on the nature of where the front is, where the boundary is in the atmosphere. But we are expected to kind of find ourselves positioned in an area that's going to allow for these clusters of storms pretty much every day going into next week. Any of the storms are going to have the potential to be severe. They could have damaging wind gusts or large hail, and a brief tornado cannot be ruled out. That's what you're going to be hearing us say a lot as we get into this rainy pattern. The only saving grace for us is, in a sense, that temperatures are going to be cooler, but you might not really have a chance to enjoy it, especially when it's raining. So that's pretty much the gist of our First Alert forecast for right now. I'm going to be on Studio 3 coming up here in just a little bit, and then WLBT News at 4 and 4:30. And again, Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts will be in at 5 and 6. And we're going to have more details on this first alert forecast for you. We will be back here at 6:30 to do this all over again. And if you don't have a chance to join us again, then I hope you got this. If not, it will loop on Facebook. And I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay hydrated, enjoy the dry conditions while they're here. Get that yard work done in a safe manner. Take extra breaks until the rain gets here. And then hopefully you can just chill for a little bit and maybe enjoy that little bit of a rainy pattern. We'll talk more later, and have a good rest of your Friday.